Hey everybody. I'm going live right now because it's 111. It's also a beautiful day in the Midwest, which we don't have very often. It seems like it's either raining or it's humid or it's, crazy weather. So it's beautiful, sunny, no clouds in the sky. It's probably 75 degrees and no humidity. So it's incredible right now. So I want to get out there. We've already been out once for a walk, me and Jimmy Choo, but I want to get out there and enjoy some time out in the sunshine today. When we went on our walk earlier, we saw, I can't even tell you, like we had all these butterflies fly into us. Jimmy had a butterfly land on him. We saw dragonflies. We go on a walk that's up kind of on a walking path, and just overnight we walk this walk like twice a day. Just overnight there was like toadstools just everywhere, just popped up overnight. So the fairies are obviously at work. Getting ready for the equinox, right? Getting ready for fall. So again, yesterday was the autumnal equinox, and so the sun has officially entered Libra, and we're getting ready for gearing up for a full moon in Aries this week, tomorrow actually, and it's at 1 degree of Aries. So we're going to talk about that. But today, Mercury in Libra is going to trine Mars in Aquarius. Now remember, Mars in Aquarius is also conjunct the South Node, which is in Aquarius. And the South Node is the karma, right? The past life karma collectively. So the good news about Mercury in Libra trining Mars in Aquarius is that rational thought and communication are going to be kind of the way of the world for the next couple of weeks, and we certainly could use some of that right now. And it's a good time to get things discussed and things negotiated. So if you have some things coming up or some difficult conversations, this is a good time for that to happen. Now, I say that with a big but, because Mars is still square Uranus in Taurus. And this is very eruptive energy. So this is really about diplomacy and about holding space for these difficult conversations and not reacting emotionally, which is going to be challenging because we're really triggered, and you're going to be getting triggers from your past. This is playing out very interestingly in my life. I've had a lot of big aha moments this week. And of course, I'm going through my Chiron return, which typically happens around your 50th year of life, and it's known as the midlife crisis, but I'm having mine early. I'm having mine at 48, the age of 48. So I'm certainly feeling that. I'm feeling that for sure, and learning a lot, actually, learning a lot. It's turning out to be very different than what I was anticipating. Not in a bad way, but I'm certainly learning a lot about managing my energy during this time. And, we're responsible for our energy that we bring to things. But when Mars is so close to the South Node, sometimes, even though we know that South Node kicks in, and the past stuff from our past life, or our baggage that we brought into this life, or anything that's happened in our past as our childhood or coming up for us, or tragic events or things that have triggered us in the past will come up. And so people are being triggered all over the place. And this is also being shown with this Mars-Uranus square, which is kind of all about shaky ground. And this is self-evident. I mean, there was like a volcano in Indonesia that erupted 44 times yesterday. Okay, 44. Remember my number. I like that number, 44. But 44 times in one day, a volcano erupts. It's just crazy, right? And we're still having earthquakes and eruptions, and we will continue to have them until this Mars-Uranus square really starts to dissipate, which it will start to do over the course of the next month. But even though it is a good time to discuss things verbally and sort things out, it is important to do it from a place of neutrality and from a place of awareness, so that you are not allowing those triggers to come in and set you off. Because things could be going swimmingly, and then somebody says one thing, and that's your thing, and then bam, it's on like Donkey Kong. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. So Monday, we have the Aries full moon at 1 degree of Aries, which is conjunct the Aries point, which is 0 degrees of Aries. So I've talked about this before, but this is the beginning point of the zodiac. It's very powerful cardinal energy, okay? So if you have anything within a 2-degree orb, so 0 to 2 degrees of the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, or if you have anything from 0 degrees to 29 degrees, so backwards, right? So 29 degrees of the fixed sign, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So basically this means everybody, because I don't know anybody who doesn't have something there. If you don't have something there, it's a miracle. But anyway, this is really going to set the tone for the next 3 months, okay, of the year. And there's a lot of other stuff going on. You know, Venus is in Scorpio, and it's getting ready to go retrograde. So this is going to be a challenging time for relationships, all kinds of relationships. It's going to test your relationships big time for the next couple of months. We'll get a little reprieve when it goes direct in Libra, because Venus will go all the way back into Libra, where it likes to be, and then it'll go back into Scorpio again. And of course, we've got to remember Jupiter is still in Scorpio, and Jupiter will be in Scorpio until November, when it moves into Sagittarius, which I'm really looking forward to, because I'm a Sagittarius ascendant. And so that's really beneficial for me and really lucky for me. And the other thing about having Jupiter in a sign that it rules, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, is a lot of really amazing things will happen. We're talking Miracle City, sweetheart. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, this full moon is typically called, the harvest moon. And it's often closer to the earth, and so it looks bigger. And oftentimes it will have an orange cast to it, or sometimes a reddish cast. And this moon and the sun are going to be squaring Saturn and Capricorn. So all summer Saturn has been retrograde, but now it's direct in Capricorn. So if you have anything at 2 degrees of Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign, by the way, it's really going to be activated at this time, because it's not only being activated by the 0-point energy of the Aries full moon, it's also being activated by Saturn. So it's a very strong moon. And Saturn's about lessons, but it's about the lessons that you learn so that you can create and manifest something for the long term. Saturn is all about manifestation. So this can be a very productive time for you this next 3 months. But it's not going to be without its challenges. Again, our relationships are going to be challenged tremendously. So just keep that in mind. And then Tuesday, the squaring energy of the moon and the sun is going to continue. We still have the Mars squaring Uranus. So this underscores the need to be fully responsible for your actions. And anything to do with past relationships, projects, or business affairs that need to be brought to completion before the end of the year. So this can manifest in many different ways. For me, this Scorpio, Venus relationship, Saturn stuff is all happening with my relationship with my mother, who is in the final stages of her life. And it's manifesting in unique ways that I never anticipated it to manifest. And so you throw a little Uranus in Taurus in there, which is also squaring that Saturn in Capricorn, and it's just opportunities, but also unexpected challenges. Pardon me. I just went out for a walk with the dog, and so even though it's a beautiful day out, this is a high time for my allergies, and I haven't taken my allergy medicine, so I'm like, ha, coughing it all up. Okay, So Wednesday, the sun in Libra is going to conjunct Mercury. So Mercury and the sun were together like in the middle of the week in Virgo. And now they're going to conjunct again in Libra. And this will be a strong trine to that Mars in Aquarius. So that's like building the energy of Mercury is already trining Mars in Aquarius, but now the sun's going to come in. So Mercury is your communication, it's your thought process. But you know, the sun represents you. So, and that sun is also squaring Saturn in Capricorn. So this is like finals week, okay? It's like you are being tested, you are being tried, everything is going to be tested. It's like, do you really want this? Do you really, really want this? We're going to really push all your buttons and make sure that you really, really want this. So it's going to be a challenging week on many different levels. However, the great thing about this is that we're all going to have a lot of physical energy. I myself am already feeling this because last night I was like, I get up really early and I was like 1:30 in the morning. I was still wired for sound yesterday. And typically around the full moon, I'm really sleepy and tired and I need a lot of sleep. No, I could not go to sleep last night. I was wide awake this morning too. So there's a lot of physical energy, and my sun is in Capricorn, and it's very close to 2 degrees of Saturn, where Saturn's sitting. And so I'm super energized by this full moon so far. I am feeling the electricity. So if you have anything in the early degrees of Capricorn or the late degrees of Sagittarius, you may feel a rush of this power, of all this great energy. You know, Capricorns have a tendency to have arthritis and have joint issues. And a lot of the reason for that is Capricorns have a tremendous amount of stamina and it's very electrical. And so if they don't do something with that physical energy will land in their joints and cause joint issues or arthritis. So if you are a Capricorn, or if you're a Capricorn ascendant, or your Capricorn moon, it's really important this time right now to get out and do something. Go for a walk, work out. And if you're jogging, jog farther. If you're working out, add some time to your workout. Really, really start to get some physical stuff moving, because there's a lot of stuff that we've kind of picked up over the summer, and it's important to work all that kind of stuff out, or it will settle in your joints and you will not be comfortable. Your body will not be comfortable. It's also a great day for your sex life on Wednesday. So, you know, if you can't get into the gym, get into the bed. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The sun is squaring Saturn in the early degrees of Capricorn, right? So this will boost everyone's ambition. And if you have stuff in the early degrees of Capricorn, you're already an ambitious son of a gun, because, hi, Gina, because that's what Capricorns are all about. Capricorns are the goats that climb the mountain and then they turn into the fish that swims the depths of the ocean. And so if they can't catch it on the mountain, they'll go down to the bottom of the ocean and find it. And Capricorns oftentimes create challenges for themselves. And this is a great time of creating challenges for ourselves, things to overcome, so we can cross the finish line and be like, yeah, I really did that, you know? So be aware of that. A lot of times this energy for this week is going to be like taking on way too much, having way too much to accomplish, because that's what Capricorns do. And with Saturn and the sun squaring Saturn in Capricorn, there's going to be that, oh yeah, I can take that on. Oh yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, overpromise yourself. So remember, it's a really good week to do your yoga and to calm down, connect, and also work out, because you've got to channel that Capricornian energy, right? So Thursday, the Saturn square energy should start to ease off a little bit as the sun starts to move. And on Thursday, the Mars is going to be trining Saturn, and it will move things along, but in a harmonious nature. And so that's important, because every once in a while, Saturn needs that Mars energy to keep it moving forward. And again, that's why I say it's a really good week to work out, really good week to be physical, great week to meditate, great week to do yoga. The challenge is going to be finding the time, because you're going to be so busy, right? Really busy. So there's also a square with the sun in Libra, and so and that's going to dissipate. But this is Libra rules the 10th house of careers. So you may some things may come up at work or come up in your business. So just be aware that that could happen. However, it could be, instead of a challenge, it could be an opportunity. Depends on your perspective, right? So this could be an opportunity to move ahead in your profession because you've got Mars in there as well. So that's kind of cool. If you know your chart enough to know what house your Libra is in, that also will help you figure out where this is happening in your chart. And you want to blend that energy with the 10th house. So for example, if your Libra is in your 4th house of home and family, you're going to want to blend that work 10th house with family 4th house. And so it may be about moving ahead in your business, but being able to balance that with managing your family and your family responsibilities, which is always a challenge for a lot of people, right? And those houses are right across from each other. So on this weekend, the big thing that's coming up is that Pluto is going to station direct at the end of the month. Now, Pluto has been at 18 degrees of Capricorn. It started at 20 degrees, and it's moved back to 18 degrees, and it's been sitting there pretty much most of the summer. And Pluto is the farthest planet away from us, and so it takes a long time for that energy to get to us. And so transformation with Pluto takes a long time. And there's a lot of stuff going on with Pluto. Our country is currently going through its Pluto return. Pluto has about a 250-year cycle, and our country is about 250 years old. So as you can see, a lot of the structures, our governmental structures and stuff, are starting to be challenged. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not a particularly political person, but I can tell you I'm definitely voting in November. And that's, there's just a lot going on from that direction. But Pluto is also, and that even though that's our country's Pluto return, it's obviously going to impact everybody who lives here in our country. And I'm sure that I know there's lots of other folks on here that are in Australia and Canada. And whenever I talk to you, it's always interesting to get the perspective of what's going on in our country from abroad. It's very, very interesting to see that happening. And stuff's happening in other countries too. So anyway, this is a big moment because Pluto is going to go direct, and it's going direct as we move into October. And this could be a huge opportunity for folks to find forgiveness for past events or transgressions or maybe losses that they've suffered. It can help you really move forward in your life in a big way. So Pluto rules Scorpio, which is the 8th house of sex, death, rebirth. And so other people's money, business partnerships. So it has a lot of stuff. And I can't imagine anybody who doesn't have some kind of transgression in one of those areas of their life right now, right? So this is an opportunity for a big shift. So be prepared for that. And all of the stuff that's going on this week with Uranus and Mars, and we've got the square energy from the Sun to Saturn. This is lessons, long-term lessons for moving forward long-term, plus Pluto's in Capricorn, moving forward. This is going to be a pivotal week for a lot of people, and for our country in the United States, for sure. One thing that one of my friends, he's a shaman that I've worked with for many, many years, and he always says, when you have big lessons come in your life, and these lessons apply to all of us because we're part of the collective, it's important to take what you need and leave the rest by the fire. So things may come up that don't apply to you. Observe them. Things may come up that you're not ready for. So put that back in the back of your card catalog, if you guys know what a card catalog is. If not, Google it. And whatever it is that you need will come to you, and you can move on with it. And really, that's the lesson of this week, is all of this energy, this shaky ground, this opportunity to communicate, but communicate while the ground is shaking under our feet. is an opportunity for us to jump off the cliff and free fly, because that's what this time is really about. It's about moving forward, facing your fears, and getting on with it. And one of the other things my shaman friend used to say to me all the time is people put so much energy into not facing their fears because they're afraid of experiencing that emotion, right? Experiencing that fear, that they put so much energy and anxiety into that it just rules their life. It ruins their body. It ruins their health. It ruins their mind. He said 5 minutes of fear for a lifetime of freedom. He said, you do the math on that one. And it's true. If you face your fears and move through that energy, a lot of times it's the people who are willing to take the risk and face the fear that win the day. So this is a pivotal week for so many people, and probably a pivotal week for you. So I'm wishing you all the best. I know this is a big week for me too. I'm getting a new family member at the end of this week. I'm very excited, and I hope to share that with you guys next week. And I'm just very, very excited and feel very blessed right now. So I'm also losing a family member, most likely this week. So it's big time for me, and I'm sure it's a big time for most people. I don't know anybody who's not going through something. So always reach out. Always know that there's somebody out there you can talk to. If you have questions, or if you want to engage with me, if you want to take a look at your chart on a more deep and personal level, please feel free to leave me a message or message me in Facebook, and we can talk about that, see what's going on for you. Take a look at what's happening for you in the last 3 months of this year and how that's going to propel you into 2019, which is going to be a very, very big year and very intense year for everybody. Lots of changes, lots of things are going to be happening between now and the end of the year. I can't believe we are heading into the final quarter. It just seems like New Year's Eve was yesterday. So time is speeding up exponentially, and you know, it's as we level up, the game just gets higher and higher and more challenging and more challenging. For months I kept thinking at some point we're going to catch a break, it's going to slow down, but no, we're leveling up in this game we call life, and you know, I'm here to play it and play it well. So I hope you're going to do it with me. So take care. I will talk to you guys next week. And again, if you need anything, reach out to me, and I'm happy to take a look at your chart and tell you what's going on. Okay, have a good day.